Today we're going to talk about health and safety. In your packet, there are a number of items that we want to discuss in detail. The first is medication administration. As you can see, there are 5 rights in medication administration. First is obviously the right drug. The next is the right patient, and in our case, it's going to be the right child. The right dose, the right route, and then of course at the right time. There are 5 pages to your medication administration, as you will see in your packet. The first is really just an overview. It's going to tell you how it all breaks down, what your responsibilities are, what the parents' responsibilities are, who's going to be giving the medication, the papers that the parent will need to sign, and the papers that you will need to sign, and even submit back to our office, the Early Head Start office. The first is going to be the medication portion that the parent will need to sign. This doesn't require to have the physician's signature or any information from the physician. This is all from the parent, but they will need to give the name of the physician that is prescribing the medication. And also keep in mind that whenever the medication is brought into the center, let's say for example it's albuterol for a child having respiratory issues, it must contain and must be in its original package. In other words, the box. It needs to have the child's name, not the sister's name, not the brother's name, the child's name, who prescribed it, the expiration date, how often it's to be given, and the way in which it's to be given. All of those things must be on that prescription label for the medication. So please keep that in mind. Check that right away, because if the medication is expired, then the parent is going to go and have to talk with the physician and get a refill. But getting back to this first page, that is the medication administration portion that the parent will need to fill out. It is really self-explanatory, it's very simple, and then you move on. The next one is going to be more or less a checklist for you. What do you need to have in place when this child is going to receive the medication? The next page is going to be completed by the caregiver, in your case, the teacher. And it will tell you the things that you will need to have in place. And the parent is there when they are signing and approving that you will be the person giving the medication. Now, in every one of the centers, please keep in mind, there is usually a designated person who does all the medication giving. So you may not be responsible for giving that child the medication, but you may be the person that is signing this medication administration packet. The next is your log, and this is important. You always need to note when you have given the child the medication, what time you gave the child the medication, what route you used in order to give the medication, and that you've identified the child appropriately. The next and the last page is an incident report. So for example, the child didn't get the medication at the right time. You are expected and required to complete this, and this form will be sent to your health consultant or coordinator at Early Head Start, and you can send that through our EHS program at boystown.org, and so it comes directly to us. The next thing that we're going to discuss is kind of a follow-up with our medication administration. We do a tickler log, and each one of the schools will get this. I complete this every so often as I'm notified that parents have a need for their child. Maybe they can't drink milk, they need soy or almond milk, or they need a special type of diaper, or they need a special kind of formula. You can always refer to your administration and your school, and they have copies of this. And most of the time I am seeing these being posted in the specific rooms for the child. The next item we're going to talk about is safe baby sleep. Now, all of you know that babies at a certain age, at infancy, need to be on their back. And they should stay on their back when they're sleeping until they can flip themselves over. This is one of the cardinal rules. And included in this, there's nothing in that baby's crib. There is the baby, the mattress, and a fitted sheet. That's it. Anything else? Nope, we don't put it in the baby's bed. I don't care what parents do at home, although I do talk with them when we're doing the orientation that their baby needs to have only themselves, the mattress, and a fitted sheet. That's it. No mobiles, no bumper pads, no stuffed toys, and no pillows, and no blankets. If the baby is too cool, put some more clothes on. If the baby's too warm, take some clothes off. And as you can see from your handout, it goes through all the things that we just talked about. Basically, there are 6 areas, and we always want this baby to be safe. We don't want that baby getting wrapped up in anything. This includes blankets or, getting caught in some kind of sheeting or getting a stuffed toy next to their face that they can't get away from their face and their nose. Place the babies on their backs to sleep. When they're sleeping on their tummy, you see what happens with their anatomy. And when they're sleeping on their back, it goes into correct alignment. Is that a safe sleeping? If you're looking at your handout, no. No blankets, no bumper pads, no stuffed animals, no pillows, no mobiles. None of these things are safe. On their back, baby, mattress, fitted sheet. That's it. Can we stop?
Yeah.
Okay. The next item that we're going to talk about is daily health checks. What are they? What do they do? Why do we do them? When do we do them? And what's it all about? Daily health checks are necessary because it gives us and everyone in the school an idea of how that child came into the school and how that child is leaving. So we want you to look at the child, we want you to listen to that child, we want you to smell that child, and we want you to feel that child. I know many times parents seem to be in a rush when they're dropping off their children, but please make it a point of talking with every person that is dropping off a child. It need not be a long conversation. It may be just saying, how was the night? Anything going on? And in the meantime, you're feeling that child, you're smelling that child, and believe me, you'll pick up everything that is going on with that child in just that usually less than a minute conversation. You'll feel if that child feels a little warm. You certainly will smell if they have a dirty diaper or it appears that they haven't been bathed. They've got dirty hair, etc. We want to know those things. And it's very important if they've got a bump, a bruise, that needs to be noted. Because think of the situation where you're going to lunch and someone's coming in to relieve you. Say that I came in to relieve you, and all of a sudden I spot Johnny has a bump on his head. The first thing I'm going to look at is at that daily health check. Is it already noted? And if it is, then I'm not concerned. This didn't just happen. Johnny came in with a bump on his head that mom said he fell playing ball with his brother. So that takes care of that. So it is always so important. And when we're doing our monitoring on a monthly basis for all the centers, the daily health checklist is one of the things that we look at very closely. So we want to make sure that y'all are doing them. If you have any questions, you're having problems trying to do it, you don't know exactly what to say, please give me a call. There are a number of ways in which you can do a daily health check, and there are a number of forms. We have no set form that is used. Each one of the centers kind of basically has used their own, and most of them do a very good job. It may be just a one line where you are really responsible for noting everything yourself, or it may be a checklist. Whatever the form is, use it. Get familiar with it and use it when the child is coming in and when that child is leaving in the afternoon. You want to know how that child left your care. Part of the daily health check, though, does give you an idea of when you need to call a parent and when a child should be sent home, and also when to report it. So again, I can't stress to you the importance of having this daily health check and making sure that you're using this as a tool for taking care of your child every day. Baby grams for our infants. Parents really love babygrams because it really gives them an idea of how their child did during the day. When did they get fed? How many dirty diapers did they have? Was there anything in particular with the dirty diaper? Did they have diarrhea, or was everything okay? How much did they eat? And if they are just starting with feeding, then parents really look at that as a really good guide. So always do babygrams. Like I said, parents really like to get those babygrams in the afternoon. The last thing we're going to talk about really is oral health. As many of you, okay.
Let me adjust your why it just popped out. Yeah, it's kind of, oh, yep. Perfect.
Got it.
Yep, that's it.
Just tell me to do it and I can do it.
All good, here we go.
All right.
And I am still rolling actually, so.
All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is oral health. There are a number of screenings that Early Head Start requires that we do during the school year. And we have made a commitment and partnered with DePaul Community. Can I go ahead and say that? Because I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay. We have partnered with DePaul Community Health and their Tooth Bus to provide dental care to our children every 6 months. So this is all part of our oral health. We also do hearing, speech, and vision. And again, we partner with DePaul Community Health for the vision screening as well. But when we're talking about oral health, even though the child may not have any teeth, we still want to make sure that they are having good oral health. With our children do have teeth, we are expected to have their teeth brushed once a day at school. This is after lunch. With our infants, what we are asking the teachers to do is just to make sure that after they've eaten, after they've had their bottle, that a very soft cloth is used to make sure that there's no excess left in their mouth, and especially before they go down for their nap. And this is something that I even share with parents during orientation, that we really would like for them to make sure that their baby's mouth is being cleaned out, because you don't want that formula just sitting in their mouth, because formula does have sugar. When we are doing the oral health screenings, the dentist is really the person that is just checking the mouth, making sure that everything is going okay. We will do a dental exam if there's anything that we need to have attention paid to with the parents. They are getting a copy of that exam. So that they can then go to their family dentist and have that issue addressed. We've given you in your packet of information just kind of a breakdown from infancy through toddler years about oral health and things to look for. This concludes my portion of the health and safety. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me by phone or you can contact me by email. Thank you.
All right, that's